nothing but the dog in me.
One must die, chase the cat.
That was a jam back in the day.
Yes, it was. Good evening and welcome to Posse Presents, where I am finally with someone who appreciates my intro as much as I do. I said, wait till you see it, wait till you hear it. And she's like, oh my God.
Atomic dog.
Atomic dog. Anyway, here we are tonight, and I am so thrilled to finally have on Shonya Harrison.
Hey,
Yay! Yay! From No Animal Left Unfed.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Shonya.
No, thank you very much for having me, for inviting me. I'm sorry it took me some years.
No, it's not really years. It's all good.
A few months.
We talked about it over the summer. The last time I saw Shonya, we were trading off some stuff in a parking lot in the dead of summer. It was like 90-something degrees.
We were like literally melting.
Melting. And you think we would have just like moved it into the shade or inside?
Nope.
There we were out in the... I love this woman, I have to say. No Animal Left Unfed is like a hidden gem.
Oh, thank you.
Really, it's a hidden gem.
Thank you.
Shonya does so much for so many people, and in our conversation, you know, that first meeting, you've got like so much, you're spilling stuff out and you're talking about, you know, all your stuff and this is what I do and this is what oh my God, I didn't know this, I didn't know that. And you just so impressed me. You are amazing, lady.
Thank you. That's very kind, because I think one of the initial struggles is that I always feel like that I'm not doing enough, because the problems are so pervasive and it's getting much worse, and you see sort of like a cumulative effect and you think, oh, I'm like a little rock in the ocean, but
you know,
I try.
It's the little rock.
It's the ripple
that
effect.
hits the water, and it makes those ripples.
Yep.
And you know, if you're lucky, you can help people. If you're luckier, you can inspire people. And I think you do all of that.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I try. I've been doing this for a really long time. We were talking earlier. I started in 2000. I started in 2007, actually as a volunteer for the Connecticut Humane Society. It was one of those things where I was living at the time. I won't give where I was living at the time. I was living in Hartford, and I would see all of these cats, and I was just, I mean, my heart would just break like every day, and they was in such horrible condition, and they were starving, and the winter came, and so I sort of just finally like made up my mind. I had always had a love for animals, always, and I don't know what it was inside of me, but I just finally decided that I wanted to do something, and then sort of the conversation became, then what are you going to do?
What is that going to be?
Yeah, and what is it going to look like, and how is it going to feel? And one of the things I know that I say to people too is, because I think one of the things I even grapple with in the beginning is, I think you feel like you have to start big, like you got to get on Reddit and throw like a party, you know, and you have to do like all of these things.
Blow the horns and sound the trumpets.
And raise like, and the thing is, you have to do what you can do, as long as you do something.
You have to put one foot in front of the other, and just feel your way through stuff sometimes.
Exactly, and that's exactly what I did. I very much sort of felt my way, and I'm sort of empathic anyway, so I had to do something that I felt really comfortable in, and that made sense to me. It had to be practical and reasonable for me.
You have to find that place in your heart.
And you have to feel it too, so I've been
That's what passion's about.
Exactly. So I've been in like nonprofit all of my life, and at the time I was doing a lot of social work. So I knew I wasn't going to be a traditional shelter. I knew up front. And then when I started at Connecticut Humane Society as a foster, I think I started sort of like looking at their food pantry. Anyway, cut to, after thinking about it for a while, I was like, okay, I'm going to do what I know I can do, which is direct service. So one of the things I tell people up front is that I'm not a traditional rescue at all.
No, you don't take animals in.
I do not. I provide direct services to families across the state of Connecticut. And there's been some sort of edits, edits along the way, incarnations along the way. But as of today, right now, No Animal Left Unfed has three programs, 3 direct service programs that are.
And they're amazing.
Oh no, thanks. You're like so nice. It's like really
No,
nice
but
to
I'm
hear that.
Saying it because it's
Yeah.
true. Check out what she does, folks.
Yeah, I mean, if you can, but our biggest one is our pet pantry. For a long time, I was actually doing it out of my car because I was looking for when I tell people that, I'm like, yo, the struggle is real. The hustle still is crazy, but even looking back, it's even hard to me to fathom how I did it, because it was just
made it work.
So crazy, but you make it work. And I would just do it out of my car. Shout out to Mark Paterzo, Help Willie's Friends.
I love him. He's been on the
Love
show.
him, yep. And I would get my food from him, and I would wait until I would get maybe 25, 30 families. I would go down to Durham, and literally he would help me load up my little car.
She got a little car,
Little
folks.
Toyota Yaris, and literally a little Matchbox Toyota Yaris. Yep. And he would, and then I would go back to Hartford, and then I would make all of these. I mean, it was beyond ridiculous.
But you did what you had to do.
I did what I had to do, and then finally, through the course of cosmic conversations, a good network by then of just sort of starting to work with many different people. We were offered space at a church in Hartford. The pastor operates a food bank, and the majority of the people who were coming into the food bank kept asking about pet food. And the girl, y'all, really, no, sincerely, the heavens open, because that does not happen.
Well, it did.
It doesn't, because anyone who knows this, finding space, real estate, again, ridiculous.
Yep.
And
see, but that's all part of what's meant to happen.
No, I absolutely believe it. And so the girl that I work with, get this, went to the church, Shonya, my pastor, and the guy who runs the food bank. So we meet. It gets even crazier. The guy who runs the food bank, his vision, we went to high school together. So it was a done deal, totally a done deal. And so we've been...
Life is funny sometimes.
It is. So the pantry is at Latter Rain Christian Fellowship Church in 3200 Main Street in Hartford. It's every second and fourth Saturday from 10 to 12. We had one this morning.
You had one today, and if I wasn't getting my furnace work done, I was going to try to do it. But heat is important.
It is. Heat
is really important, and not having your oil leak all over your basement is even better.
That's even more important.
Because that's hazmat, and it gets ugly.
No, it can get ugly. No, it can get really ugly.
But you had a really special one today because you had a Halloween one.
I did. We try to do we try to do, I don't want to say themes, but the thing with the pantry is there's a lot of kids who come through the pantry.
Yeah.
People forget that.
And you don't just hand out pet food and be you're done.
No, that's again, I'm very much a community gal. I'm an activist, so a lot of that comes through my work, even through the pet pantry. So very early on, I realized I had to expand the services simply beyond the pet to the human as well. Mm-hmm. So we do, okay, so for today, of course, we did the pet foods, but we did boo bags.
Yeah, so you had the pictures.
Bags,
you had the pictures up on your Facebook page.
I have it on my Facebook page.
And they were so cute, and they looked like you were stuffed.
Shout out to my mom. She did that. Shout out, Mom. Yep. She did that for me because thankfully I'm working full time in this, but it's a very intense 7-day-a-week job, so I just didn't have the time to do it. So, but she did the boo bags for me. My only one, very consistent, very hardworking volunteer, Becky St. George. Becky, yep. She did the coloring books for us.
Yep, she had a Teddy page.
She had to take
a bite out of Puppy Mills. And I tagged Teddy's mom and Harley and Teddy. And
that was so nice.
Harley's mom, I tagged them all.
Thank you.
She showed up the picture on that.
Yep. So she had the coloring books with the cellophane, with the crayons. So we had that. And then one of the other things that we started too for the pantry for the kids, we have a stuffed animal and book corner.
Aw, so they
Yeah.
can pick one when they
So
come
they
in?
can pick one when they come in. We always advocate anything for reading because
Oh, absolutely. It's very
literacy
important.
is actually quite low in the greater Hartford area.
And it's so important, you know? You need to read to your kids, and you need to get them to read. And
It's a very intimate bonding thing to do. I don't
Yep.
think people realize, like, it's a really natural way to bond
Yeah.
with your child.
And some adults weren't brought up that way, but you can change that. And,
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
read with your kids.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing.
It's a wonderful thing just to sort of like do in general. And if you're creative, you want to be. I want to say you don't necessarily need money to be transported. Just read a book.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's so true. Just read a book.
It's very true.
And so that's our pantry. So that's the way we do it. So today for the Halloween, of course, we had the regular food bank, and then there was our pet food, and again we had the stuffed animals, the books, we had the boo bags, and just like the regular pet food, and we pass it out. And we typically do about, like, I don't know, maybe 450 pounds, and we sort of cap it at that too, because the other thing too is when you run a pantry is just as equally as sustaining that pantry. So
Yep. You can't give out more than you can replenish.
Right, and we don't always get donations, so you know, we tend to run out of cat food first because we never have it, and then we run out of dog food. So
And what I didn't realize is you told me today that your pantry runs the same day the food pantry goes.
yeah, we occupy the same space, so we're
it's,
there
it's
when
not
they're
like
there.
your weekend and their weekend.
No,
It's all together.
It's all together. When you walk in, they're on one side, we're on the other side, and then you start with the food bank line, and then you sort of like go through their line, and then you make your way to us.
And you said there are some people that come to the pet food first, and then they go for the.
Yeah,
those are my kind of people. Like I said, I'll eat like ramen noodles or something, and make sure my dogs are fed.
No, the people at the church who run the pantry, they are great because they all know us now because it's been about like 2 years now. We've been doing this for like 2 years, but they'll say, who needs pet food? And then now we have our regular customer base. Like, but when we first started, it's who needs pet food? And then go over to her, and then, you know, get your stuff, go back out, and they come in and go through the regular, pet food bank line. So, it's been like a great collaboration. I am very grateful for it because, like I said, you know, up until that point, trying to find space, and
and they can to find a place to store pet food, to find a place a common place to distribute it.
It's hard.
It's very difficult unless you've got the resources, and you got lucky.
You know what? I really did, because like I said, we have the church for the space. We actually have a warehouse. I don't ever mention the warehouse because it's where someone works, and they've been very gracious and sort of lending us. I don't want to say loan. You know, sort of opening up the extra space to us to use. But again, it's just unheard of. Like it really is. I mean,
it's great to have a
got
support
lucky.
system. Yeah,
But
really
you know
is.
what? No, it takes a village, though. And please forgive me for saying that. I don't mean it in any offensive way, but you have to work with everyone. Like you really do to do this and to do it well.
Yep.
And so it's just, I mean, it's very challenging. But it is a passion, so it's a never mind for me every day.
And I think you do a really good job because you could tell you pour your heart into it.
I try. I'm tired though.
Yeah. As far as the pantry, it's not limited to those in the Hartford area.
Oh my goodness, no!
It's open to anybody who needs it.
I purposely sat it in Hartford because I just sort of like over the years, like I do the only serious part of tonight I will say it's. Sometimes it's heartbreaking to hear what people say about Hartford. I'm from Hartford. I look like a lot of the people they're talking about from Hartford. There's all of these sort of misnomers and sort of misperceptions about what the people in Hartford are and what they do. And the unemployment rates are high, but it's not because they're lazy and don't want to work. It's because they're just too few jobs.
Yeah, well, it's the same in Waterbury.
Yeah, you know, and so we have really good, solid families working who love their pets.
And they just need a little help.
But they're working low retail jobs. Yeah. And so, times are tough. And so if you have to choose between your kids and your pets, you're going to choose your kids.
Yeah.
So I purposely put the pantry in Hartford. You have to come to Hartford, but it is open to any state of Connecticut resident. They just have to be willing. You have to come to the pantry to get the food, and you bring 2 forms of ID. And we help you essentially for like a month. And then
I was going to ask you, is there like a time?
I'm actually still playing with that too, because right now we do help you for like a month, sort of like the equivalent of a month. So like 4 visits.
Right.
You know, you get like 4 visits, and then we give you like 1 more in emergency. So you get like 5 for the year, like when you first start the program. And I say everyone, you know, choose those visits wisely and judiciously, because at some point we do have to cap it off.
Right.
If you are receiving any type of state of Connecticut aid, whether it's Husky, cash assistance, whatever, we will extend it. If you are in extreme hardship from illness, foreclosure, whatever, you know, we will extend it. These are all personal conversations. I don't share any names. You know, you just sort of come into the pantry. There is an application that you have to fill out, the double-sided application. I don't share anything. You fill it out. I track everything because, well, I have to do my 990.
Right.
And because that's the other thing. I am a real 501c3.
She's a real deal.
I am. I'm registered with the state of Connecticut. So I track everything. And I, you know, part of it too is for my grants too. But no, we try to keep the process like really, really, really easy. If you look, I tell people, look, if you really need it, I'm going to give it to you. You know, my goal is to make sure that animal is okay, and they're human too.
Right.
They're human too. But I'm not going to let any animal starve because
or have a family
I had to
have
cap
give up a
you
pet.
off.
Or have an animal. Well, you know, now I can't do it, and you know, the animal has to.
But we try to do things in a way that makes sense though, because you don't want
Case by case.
Right. Exactly that. I mean, it's you know, don't use the pantry as a crutch.
Right.
Let's talk about some of the other things that you can do. I don't do it as much as I used to, but part of what I do too is when families do come to me, I do sit with them and talk with them for case management. So, like I said, I don't do it as much as I used to, but like I make referrals for them, and this is what you can do, this is where you can go, this is what this means, this is why this is happening. These resources are available. It's a little bit different now because, you know, the state of Connecticut, you know, I guess we just recently, what was it, yesterday or the day before, just signed a bipartisan budget, but the city of Hartford is still broke, so it doesn't really matter. It's about to declare bankruptcy. So I just try to be reasonable. I do.
You have that little slightly broader mission to help the people, to let them know what's available to them, to try to make whatever hardship they're going through the most productive, the least painful.
Yeah, I'm not a shaming gal. We don't shame our families. We don't shame our clients. There's no judgment. No. I just don't believe in that.
No, everybody has their struggles, and I come from a place of it too. Yeah,
like
I come from a place of struggle too. So
myself included. You know, for a couple of years, like just really weird things were happening to me, and you know, I've been very fortunate in that I went to Boston College. I got my master's at University of St. Joseph. I think of myself as a decent, smart person. And
you got it all going on. You do.
I wish.
I have talked to you before. You do.
I wish. But I know things happen. You know, life sort of catches you and grips you in a way that
life gets in the way.
It could be very overwhelming. So so for me, sincerely, I say this: there's no judgment and no shaming on my part. I'm like, look, girl, if I can help you, I can help you. If I can't, I can't.
And there are cases like where people come to you and there's a medical concern with the animal, and you try to get. And that's together.
That's where the network comes in. Yep. Yeah, because we're so small. I mean, it's just, me, my mom, and Becky, really, if it wasn't for Becky, I really wouldn't be able to really run the pantry. I mean, she's a solid volunteer. She helps me a lot. My mom, who's on my board, shout out to my mom again.
Mom
and
Becky.
And Becky, yeah, because like they helped me tremendously.
And this is where I'll say right now, if anybody's looking for a volunteer opportunity,
Because keep in
You
mind,
could
I'm a
use the help.
501c3, yeah. So if you're a student who needs especially with the colleges now, they do a lot of the community civic service. Please call me if you're looking because you're bored. You know, especially in our warehouses, all in the warehouse with the prepping of the food, that type of thing, getting everything ready.
Yeah, it
even
doesn't
doing
happen
some
by itself.
fundraisers for us because I miss out on so much.
Yeah, you can't be everywhere.
I can be
So
any.
you
I
need-
can't be
You need
anywhere.
people to attend the events and
Yeah.
represent the
Yeah.
group and get the exposure.
Yeah. Hence tonight,
yeah.
because I honestly, I don't physically have
Yeah,
the
you
time,
can't-
and it's so hard trying to balance. I mean, No Animal takes just as much time as my job. I mean, because I'm not giving it up because I absolutely love it, but it takes an equal, if not more, amount of time to just, I mean, even like last night, because you know, of course I waited till the last minute. I'm like doing all the names for the pantry today, doing all of my record keeping. It's like 3 a.m. So
Yeah, you've got your hands full, and
I
with a very
do.
small amount of volunteer base, you've done amazing things. But you could do so much more.
I want to do so much more. So
So
we do
how
need
does-
manpower.
How does somebody get in touch with you if they want to volunteer?
So I haven't had a real solid like website since I've started. Like I started on Weebly because it was free, and now they're like too expensive. What was the one you were telling me? The Square.
I told
Okay.
you I'll hook you up
I
with
know.
that.
Okay, but I don't ever listen, and
I
don't ever
you gotta
listen.
tell her and tell
Several
her and
times.
tell her. Yeah,
And
I can help you with the website.
Okay, and
So give out what you've got.
So Facebook is the one for me. Facebook and actually Instagram. Just go on Facebook. No Animal Left Unfed.
And you can send a message.
Click like. Send me a message, instant message. My telephone number is standard across the board. My cell phone, my telephone number, my cell number. Shout out to old landlines.
Go ahead.
Is 860-816-0525.
One more time.
860-816-0525. Cool. Yeah, just give me a call. We can place you, because when it comes to those types of things, that's where I have to sort of link into the larger community, because we're just not able to do, like, so if someone comes to me and say, hey, my dog has a broken leg, I'm just being honest, like I can't help, but what gets me into the other two programs. So the community TNR, anyone who does any type of animal advocacy has to do TNR for cats. That's just a mandate. So
Trap, neuter, release.
Yep. And this is where I need help, because right now I'm the only one who feeds my cat colonies every single day.
So if there's somebody out there who can help feed the
Yeah.
cat, she'll tell you where to go.
Yep.
She'll show you the ropes.
Yep.
But someone who's gonna put their heart into.
It has to be someone who gets vetted, I trust, because
there's a lot of
'cause I've had
crazies
horror
out
stories.
there.
I've heard
Yeah,
horror
I was just gonna
stories.
say they're gonna put their heart into it and have the cat's best interest.
Yeah, they're going to
Because
get
you don't
vetted.
want-
Absolutely, because
Yeah.
and then the last one we just did, based on the conversations that we had with our humans and the community members from the pantry, is our newest one. It started about a year ago, our Neighbors Fund, and again, based on whatever comes in. We'll do things like grooming, rabies, spay, neuter.
Right.
We help sponsor those things. But I give another shout out, Sherry DeGenova, Laurel Cox, Kenway's Cause.
Yep, they're amazing.
Good, awesome people, awesome, been very helpful to me. I had, October? I can't remember, it was the end of August or something like that. I'm feeding my cats, and I had this cat come up to me clearly in distress. In like the worst way. I mean, I've been lucky too in that I haven't had horror stories.
Yeah.
I've been really blessed like that. Like I don't get, oh my goodness. I don't want to get graphic, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't have that. But this cat was in such a bad. So anyway, I pinged someone, and that person came, and I put it on the Animal Network, I think, and then I ended up putting it on my page. But he had kidney failure, abscesses in his mouth, his tongue was gone, jaw broken, half his jaw was gone.
Baby.
I mean, he had to be, humanely euthanized, but those are
That's heartbreaking. Like, how long was he like that? What happened? How did he suffer?
and you don't. So that's where I have
thing.
to sort of, I have to I have to reach out, because like I said, we're so small. We don't. I mean, we do what we can and we try. And if you go to my page, you'll see what we do, because I try to be very transparent. I'm very transparent.
And that's the way you should be.
Yeah, I always sort of like to show what I'm doing.
Yeah, what we're doing, how we got there, who helped. You know,
Yep.
it's a good thing all around, and
Yeah.
it's not for a pat on the back or a hand clap, or it's because this is how it is.
Yeah, no, it is. And like I said, we really do try, and we really try to listen to our community members, and just even having conversations like you and I would have conversations. I try to stay open and be accessible, and try to improve, and and do the best that we can. So as of today, those are our 3 programs: the Pet Pantry, Community TNR, and our Neighbors Fund. And we're holding our own. I think people know about us. I
mean, I've seen
there's
forever and
some-
ever. We've been friends for like so long on Facebook.
I know, on Facebook.
And I
know.
see I see the food pantry, and I
Yep.
always share it.
Yep, thank you.
And,
Yeah.
and then I realized just today, that it's been since 2012.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that
It's been a long time. But I was telling you, I started in the game 2007.
Yeah.
This is like 10 years strong. And I thought about it coming up. So 2012 is when I started to register with the state. And then
that's when you got your
in 2015, I had to go back and look at something. I'm a nut sometime. 2015 is when I got the tax ID, the tax exemption, the
Yay.
501.
It's important.
So, and expensive.
Yeah, that's what's holding me back.
No, it is. Look, this is what I tell everyone, because like, Shonya, like, how did you get LegalZoom? I went through LegalZoom. I have no problems telling people that, because it's very complicated. It's time consuming.
Yeah. It's a process.
It's a real long bearing process, one that's going to require help.
Yeah.
So go
it's
to
hard.
the experts who can do it.
Don't say it again.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we are how are we out on time, guys? 4 seconds. So we're gonna say 30. Peace, love, and dogs. Shonya, I love you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Theo. Yay.
Thank you for watching, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
The royal hand wave.
I know.
You're so funny. All right,
See,
they're
that was like incredibly easy, right?
fading out.
That was.
We